Hey, we are two Star Wars nerds, and today we're talking about Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Oh, classic movie, classic character.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much to him, so understand this. We're not even going to begin to scratch the surface of him, but what we want to do today is we want to talk about why in particular Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi is such an amazing character and why we love him so much.
Yes.
And so if you don't know, we have a life and lore series where what we do is we actually dive deeper into the entire life and lore of a character. And so we have one for Luke Skywalker eventually coming up, so you want to make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified of that. But today what we're going to do is we're going to just hyper focus on Luke in Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you start? Because I know that this is like top tier Star Wars for you.
This is my all-time favorite movie. So
Awesome.
Yes, I love Return of the Jedi. I love Luke Skywalker, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things I love about Luke in this character, or in this movie, about his character and his development. And even just as I was thinking, like making notes, like you see this new confidence like come over him in the beginning of the movie. You see like this calm, but there's also this like calm and like peace. Like he's not worried. Like he's just going about his normal day, like how we would be walking at the grocery store. He's just walking in a Jabba's palace, like not afraid. He's still very passionate. He's loving. He's heroic. He believes the best in his friends, like even in like Han. He calls out the best in him. He's very protective of his friends, and he fights for what he thinks is right and what he believes. And I mean that's a hero. Like that's a perfect description of a hero. And what's really cool is he is Anakin Skywalker's legacy, and he got it right where Anakin got it wrong. And so you even kind of just see that redemption in, yes, Anakin Skywalker is actually redeemed in Return of the Jedi, but you also see this redemption in his family line, in his legacy, because Luke carried out exactly who I think Anakin could have been. Like just everything that was right in Anakin is who Luke became. So I think that's even super cool, and you see these similarities in between them, especially about how they love their friends and their confidence. But Luke's confidence is a little bit different than Anakin's. It's not as, at least I don't see it as like ego, like as much pride and ego. It's just he's confident. He knows who he is. But yeah, I love this movie. I love Luke in it, and I just think it's so awesome when he walks into Jabba's palace in the beginning. And like I said, he's just walking the dog, just another day, no fear. And he's just confident. Even Han Solo's like this kid, like, because Han Solo has, been in carbonite, so he doesn't know that Luke's been working some stuff out. So it's just cool to see his development, to see that he worked really hard to become the Jedi that he does become, and that he's a powerful Jedi. Like that's the Luke I love. Like Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi is like my all-time favorite. I think just he embodies what a hero is, and he believes the best even in his dad when no one else believed in his dad. He's like, there's good in my dad. And then there was that reconciliation with them in the end. Like, and obviously I love Anakin too. So just to see that Luke fought not just for the rebellion, but he fought for his father, and he saw victory in both. Like it's like perfect.
Oh yeah. And you brought up how he is like the definition of a hero. And obviously we've talked about this quite a bit on this channel, but George Lucas writing Star Wars almost through the lens of Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey, and many characters going through this journey, but in particular Luke Skywalker. And what's really cool is you're seeing this whole idea of like the descent into the beast, or the descent into darkness. And essentially one thing he finds out is that he is his own worst enemy, that his very nature and lineage and the propensities within him are I guess the biggest thing standing up against him. And so when he overcomes that, and you see the amount of training that took place in between episode 5 and 6, it's very, very fascinating, because he has this situational understanding of what needs to be done. because I love Jabba's palace. When he walks in, you see him, which is weird. You do see him force choke, and you see him, on Bib Fortuna, use a Jedi mind trick, and so he's not. And we've talked about lightsaber forms, and you could argue that that's like a form 0. It's, not using this, but he has this very diplomatic approach to the way he's approaching things. And even in the Rancor pit, like the way he decides to fight.
Yeah.
And then on the sail barge and how he chooses to fight. You see his skill as a swordsman. And I love that he had
this crazy plan with R2-D2.
Yeah.
Like these two homies, like R2 is in on it. Just so cool.
And, the deleted scene with him constructing his lightsaber. And I know people have talked about, they believe that that's Qui-Gon's kyber crystal that Obi-Wan kept and he found, which would be cool, But yeah, the plan with R2, and I love the look. And I know it's been memed and stuff, but when it's like, look, all the nods, it's like, let's do this.
Yeah.
But then obviously, when he goes and he visits Yoda on Dagobah, and then the interaction with Ben's Force Ghost and Yoda and all of this, and it's total side note, the realization then that it's like, that's my sister who I've been mooching, that's gonna be a rough awakening. But anyway, this whole thing with the hero's journey to end up on Endor and the work there, and then, or the Force Moon of Endor, and then to end up on Death Star 2, all of this culminating in my favorite scene in all of Star Wars. My single most favorite scene in all of Star Wars is when Luke Skywalker is fighting Vader with Palpatine there in this whole exchange. And there's that moment where he's just like, he gives up all technique and form, and he is slashing down hard on his dad. And
anger.
Yeah, and then when he cuts off his hand, and there's this like retaliation, and in that moment he could have killed him. And it obviously the prequels came after, but it reminds me a lot of when you see Palpatine on the floor, and like Mace could have killed him right there. Or when you see like Dooku and Anakin, there's this moment where it's like, you could just take him out, but he actually chooses not to. And that's and then obviously everything that takes place after that, and the redemption of his dad, but all of that just shows this with the hero's journey. It shows that like ascent out of darkness, like he has actually, whatever you want to put it in your terms, whether it's some enlightenment or whether it's like he's actually like ascended back. He's learned what he's needed to become a hero. And then obviously what I like, it's kind of hard to keep it to just one movie, obviously. But then those skills that he's learned, part of that hero's journey is in the EU. He teaches that with the new Jedi Order, and he reestablishes that he's rebuilding and all of this. So I don't know, for me, I'm like, I feel like Return of the Jedi Luke is just so perfect.
We need more of him.
Absolutely. And we got to see him in chapter 16, the Mandalorian. So great. And we know he's coming back in some shape or form, but it's such an interesting parallel too between the young boy you see on Tatooine and his hesitancy, and the way he handles a lightsaber, and the way he's even using the Force, or I guess giving into the Force in the trench run, and the way his you could almost say an immaturity in Empire Strikes Back, this rushing into action. And then to see where he is in control in Return of the Jedi, it's fantastic. So let's do this. We did this for Anakin with the trilogy, episodes 4, 5, and 6. Now that we've covered all of that, and we're looking at Luke Skywalker, what would you say is your favorite movie for Luke Skywalker?
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Me too. Obviously I love all of Luke Skywalker, but yeah, in particular, Episode 6. Hands down, quintessential Luke Skywalker. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to wrap it up here. But if you didn't know, we actually have Life and Lore streams we mentioned at the top of this video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, because eventually we're going to be covering Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
You don't want to miss it. We also have sub goals or giveaways at every sub goal. And we have a lot of giveaways that we're doing. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to just give back to you guys who support us. But with that, we are two Star Wars nerds. And may the Force be with you always.